Welcome back. We've got map number 2 coming up here. It's going to be Inferno. Hopefully we'll see a stronger start from the Danish boys. It didn't really get going. No one really had any promising moments apart from that one instance from Kiabi.
Round 2.
An ace to actually get them around. That was it. So hopefully Inferno, their pick, they're going to have a stronger result. The problem with Cash there for them, they couldn't handle the mid control from the CTs and the ruthless aggression coming from ZywOo in that rifle as well. Inferno does have similar tendencies for the CT sides. They're going to have to fend them off, and I feel like the knife round's going to be important. I do want to see a CT start here from North. Do you feel like they can bounce back from this one? They just look a little bit too weak for me right now.
I think that, I mean, it's hard not to have a better showing of themselves, right, on the next map. That map wasn't for them. I think it was over quickly, so that's a good thing. I think if it was dragged out longer, I think it'd be worse for them. So just forget about that. We'll have to win it in 3. Just press on. Sometimes you get battered on the map, it happens. Everyone should be used to it by now. It's not ideal, but it's something that happens from time to time, so whatever, move on. I think Vitality are a stronger team, though, so...
Yeah, that's probably one of the strongest performances we've seen from Vitality as a team. Like, not just in terms of the setup and strategy, just the individual raw skill as well seem to be heads and shoulders above that of North. We really do need to see them step it up. Inferno is a Danish map, I would say. You said Cash is a French map. I think Inferno certainly falls in Danish territory. Hopefully we see it live up to expectations, and we'll see some big plays come through. It's the AWP for me that's the main issue here. It doesn't seem like it's connecting. We saw a couple of easy shots not really landing at all, and ZywOo definitely will be AWPing this map. I don't think Apex will be, so Cadian's really going to have his work cut out for him.
Speaking of AWP, so I think that on a T side, well, I often mention it, I think it can be a handicap for a lot of players. I think we saw Woxic do some good work with it, but I mean, he's an exceptional player, and we have servers full of exceptional players, but I think the T side AWP is really hard to be effective with. So I think it can a handicap if you insist on having it on your T side. It can be a hindrance, in my opinion, than otherwise, all too often.
Well, North will start on the T side, so not the start we're necessarily looking for. Same setup again, though, the 3 smokes, this time with 2 Molotovs and the flashbang. We'll see if this one is successful for them. They managed to get the second round on Cash after losing the pistol. Let's see if they can get a more successful start here and put their best foot forward as they send 5 players in towards B. This will be the full execution. Now, you don't necessarily need 3 smokes. You can use 2 to get 1 towards Coffin, CT spawn, and then use the 3rd for post-plant. And there's Molotovs as well to fend off the CTs. Molotov has been used, though, 1 towards the Emo and new boxes as well. No damage done upon arrival, and it's going to be a retake once again from the Vitality boys.
Yeah, it was so strong last time, but Valde, he's quite a strong player himself. He's there to back up Kirby if Kirby fails, but Kirby's just knocking them all down with the help of Valde as Valde swings wide. And now it's down to Apex 1 versus 5. And this is a tough one. Looked out by the smoke, could look to make some money or hold on to the perfect Kevlar. Able to dodge between the bullets.
That was beautiful.
So that he can keep
random,
it perfect.
But I will find beauty in randomness. I'll take it. Marvelous stuff.
You love variance, James, just like when you're queuing on Face It.
No, I don't like that kind of variance. Why would you have to say that, Dan? Do you know what happened to me this morning?
What happened?
First buy round on Dust 2 on a CT side.
Okay.
2 people were eco. One person even said, "Why are you buying all the time?" 5 seconds later, he said, "Oh, it's the buy round."
You don't like to see that, do you?
That's what I had at 11 o'clock in the morning. I don't want that.
It's not what you need to start your day.
No.
Did it put you in a
Thanks,
bad
Dan.
mood, or...?
I was upset.
Okay.
Yes.
I was just upset. Either way, I feel like Vitality might be a little bit upset with that one. A very similar start to the round. The bomb going down, 10 players alive. The retake coming in once again. This time, no success for the French as they get barely any kills on the retake there. Here, the odds brought to you by Pinnacle.com. You can see the Vitality still the favourites here. And we'll see round 2 come in with no force buy. Apex with the P250 and armor combo, however. So he invests a little bit more than his teammates. Well, quite a lot more. Whichever way you look at it, really. MP5's out. A couple of those for Cadian and Gade. 3 AKs around them. Focusing towards B once again, but a slow round here. Remember, they rushed B on that second round. That's where ZywOo punished them. We'll see now if North can hold on to this. Should be a simple one for them to pick up. 4 USPs. Just going through their flight paths at this point, trying to get information. Is this a B stack? Work out what sort of numbers are on this side of the map. They spotted a couple. Pretty standard stuff so far. Bomb will be recovered momentarily. That's going to be Cadian getting it. They've still got the majority of their utility and a minute to play with.
Smoke on Arch, and Vitality will wrap to the B-bomb site.
Ooh.
The forces will be combined, but there's not much in terms of forces. There's enough smokes for North to isolate the bundles of players, and they've got Molotovs as well, so they should be fine. They're just too well equipped. And they will rotate back towards the A-bomb site. So, with one player taken out, they have outmaneuvered their opponent. Gade knows that Arch is clean. And again, Vitality don't have much to fight with. With 2 SMGs for the north side, will Vitality just stay on the B-bomb site so as not to give that SMG bonus money away to their opponent? Or will they hunt to pick something up for themselves? An AK in hands of the French side, or a CT side. Any CT side can be quite something, but indeed, they will try not to give money away to their opponent. If they hunt, then they can move into the stack that they just avoided, so...
I'm still not sure about the MP5. Like, I feel like it's just a bit worse, isn't it, than the MP7?
It literally is, yeah.
So it's
literally worse.
So I don't know why
It's the
people
silencer.
use it.
I think the value is to spray through smoke on the CT side. So for me, there isn't really... I mean, yeah, you can spray through smoke on the T side as well, but I don't think it really matters so much on the T side, so I don't see a reason to equip it on the T side. That said, I have it equipped on the T side, but only when I pick it up in danger zone. So I have an actual skin rather than it just being a black gun, which annoys me.
I really enjoy it. I can't really tell you why. I just think it's super satisfying on these sort of rounds, and they haven't got armor. It feels really nimble. Fast rate of fire. The silencer feels super legit. And yeah, stats speak for themselves, I agree, but the MP5, I don't know. For some reason, I like it.
Nostalgia.
Yeah, perhaps.
Although it wasn't silenced.
It wasn't silenced.
So maybe it's not nostalgia at
The
all.
MP7 is much more like the MP5.
Yeah, but I don't know. I understand why people will use it. It's going to be the first gun round here. This is the third round buy from Vitality, with 4 rifles of the FAMAS chucked in, an MP7 for MBK. They have bare bones utility here. It's always a difficult round on the CT side. You want as much of those grenades as you possibly get, and remove the chickens apparently. Valda not happy with him.
3 A4s for Vitality, not opting to go for the silencer.
True, good point.
Yeah, it's interesting which teams kind of make those choices.
You think on Inferno especially, you'd want maybe the silencer. There's a lot of spray potential through smokes and teams committing. Where you've got crossfires, you might want a bit of stealth. And these sort of scenarios when they're pushing through. So interesting, they've gone for the A4 instead.
It is actually really good on the B-bomb site, I gotta say, because there's some dirty spots which should take too long sometimes to figure out where the damage is coming from. But
yeah, especially behind the fountain, for example.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like those, you buy you half a second where you're not detected. I think that's certainly worth looking into, at least, as the rotated player over towards B, detecting threat on that side of the map. 3 players there now, and there's 4 North players ready to execute.
I wonder if they might fake this, because Valde just spotted that they made a pop flash play towards top mid, so that tells North that they could actually fake Vitality now. Because they should realize that Vitality have 3 on this bomb site. They can, of course, the executes are strong, you can still just go for it anyway, but could have been a play they could have made. But Simon starts things off really well, actually. Lots of damage done, gets the kill. Alex will burn, but despite being smoked off, Zaiwu, he's holding on to that construction position. And this retake's really on, I would say. Oh, that's not bad. He gets caught just standing behind the smoke. That's not a good sign.
KD answering back a little, but the construction area is still held. It's still a duel on the A-bomb site. Apex is being held down by Valde, which makes it a 4 versus 2 after Valde wins that duel. Now, maybe there's a point of no return already checked off by Valde, in fact, being on the A-bomb site. Can't really retreat. RPK is stuck in construction. You know exactly where he is. Can he take anyone down with him? That is the question. Too many man to try and defuse the bomb, and 4 will survive for North after that push into the B-bomb site, which is great. 3-0 for them.
There we go, the M4A4s unable to fend off the Ts, and will be North getting their 3-0. Great play, much more promising. They've already got more rounds on Inferno than they did Cash, and we're going to number 4 here. So there you go. Looks like things are a lot more promising as a partial buy has to be brought forward for Vitality now. Deagles, CZs, no utility, 3 sets of Kevlar, and a fast approach towards B with that smoke towards CT spawn thrown. Seeing a lot of teams deploy that nice and early these days, and it goes. You can use it if you'd like to. You get the first pick very quickly. You might choose to go in. Otherwise, just send it, see if it baits our reaction. And we'll see Apex down to 18 HP. They've confirmed they're up against pistols now as the boosts come in towards middle. CZ up high.
Indeed, indeed. It's all quiet now as the grenades are set up into A, and this could work out quite well actually. See one player dropping off the boost, but using that utility to maximum effect thus far just to make things a little bit more safe. And they're pushing the CTs back. Alex might try to make a play, and that will fall on its face. Now, Mr. ZywOo, with that Steagle of his. See what he's able to accomplish here.
Well, we know what he did in the previous map.
Yeah.
Kind of stopped North
Yeah.
for the remainder of the map, more or less.
The unspeakable things he can do with that Desert Eagle. 30 seconds remaining. Never safe as he waits patiently on the A side. He's going to need multiple headshots here to stand a chance. Chance of the first, but he's the one that takes the first bullet and a second. M4 looking strong, and that should be the round. Bomb planted, Apex, MBK. Not a whole perhaps they can do with this one. MBK better off to saving his armor. And Deagle still has 100 armor, so he can get a helmet essentially for free with only having to pay $350 for that, but you don't really need it against the AKs. That money will be strong regardless. You can see that loss bonus racking up at the 4th stage right now, $2,900. Be maxed out in the next round.
Okay. Almost a weapon to collect.
Almost.
That's always good. But Cadian says no.
No.
Cadian will deny. Used to watch him playing his scrims from our office. One of our old offices in London. So much has happened in a short few years.
It really has. It's been a crazy adventure in CSGO. North now finding themselves up 4-0 on their map pick. Nuke to close it out, remember. But looks of things, we could make it there. ZywOo, though, with the AWP. Remember, it was Apex AWP on cash, which went very well for them. But as expected, ZywOo will stay on the AWP on the CT side of Inferno. 5 AKs for North. Cadian, very proficient with the rifles, not just an AWPer. As they try and get that fast B control. Valda punished for it, but a nice trade. AZ up high on the logs there as Apex battles back once again. That's a little bit too audacious, though. Really not coming out on top in these individual duels as AZ picks up his second kill. 4 versus 3, and looks like an A commitment here. They know they've pulled away at least one player towards B, and just ZywOo remains on the A site. He has to go back up towards R, but has to be perfect here.
So far, it's not too bad, but the double peek coming in from balcony as well is a problem, smoking himself off. That's not bad either. Alex is there in time to offer some support, but it's too little too late. ZywOo working on top of the box. Gets one, and that's a fantastic third there. The shotgun orb comes out to play. One more player to go, leaping through the smoke cade in the 1 versus 1 against RPK. The bomb needs to be collected, but he's got plenty of time, but he is stuck in a corner. RPK surely has advantages here. That silence then for to work with, and he finds the headshot. ZywOo, my goodness, he's got some Kenny S moves on that A-bomb side, right?
Oh yeah, that's some vintage Kenny S on the A-bomb side, close range, AWP. First shot pretty standard, but it gets extra spicy at this point. Lovely shot there, has to nail this one, gets the no-scope, removes AZ from the equation, and then RPK can win out the round. It wasn't clean, it wasn't pretty, but they got there. Vitality win the round through a 1 versus 1. The AWP will survive at least, and they'll have to buy what they can. A couple of UMPs coming out of FAMAS as well. Big round here for Vitality. Need to start stringing them together. Grenades do no damage, and it's a slow default once again from North as they wait for the initial utility and then claim control after.
It's funny because it reminds me, you know, when we see ZywOo playing these days and doing these things, we waited like a good 2 years for him to be in a position to play on like a pro level, like a top tier 1 level team. We had to wait for so long. You know, there was the tease that he would be the savior of French CS, this young superstar talent. I had to wait for him to get through school first before he would commit the level of time to joining a pro team. And now here he is. Another attack onto the A-bomb sites. North want another go at ZywOo.
Beyond the balcony, Alex, he sees absolutely nothing. Perfect timing with multiple flashbangs from North. But now how do they get to the site? Got the CTs rotating in, but they're completely exposed to the likes of Valde. And RPK will surely be checked for. Indeed, there it is. That leaves ZywOo alone with that AWP. Did so much work in the previous round, but won't do much in this one. Cadian might start the hunt. pick up an opportunist AWP if he can find him. So we could make it expensive though. And now it seems that 4 of the players will hunt him. They realize that he is likely in CT spawn to B, and he'll start to creep. Shots baited. Now they can skip the B bomb site. Plenty of time to find him. Plenty of time for him to also shoot his opponents.
He's got a scary presence on the server with 6 HP. I think his days are limited. 5-1 North with a lovely play towards the A bomb side there. Nice execution, wall of smoke towards the pit, segregating the player who will be either on the balcony or in the pit itself. You saw those smokes come down. The flashes were absolutely spectacular. Alex could do nothing as North managed to get the first kill cleanly, take over the A bomb site, take everyone down with them, and indeed remove the AWP at the end of the round. Zywo was stuck in CT spawn. Nothing could be done. North looking like they are a lot more comfortable on this map, at least. Cash, as we mentioned going into it, I've never casted a North game on Cash. So I don't think it's a map they play all too often, and kind of evidence with the disparity in performances here as we get into round 7. They've got a 5-1 lead on the T side of Inferno, and they've called the tactical timeout. Interesting. And North of... oh, sorry, it's Vitality. I've misread that. So there you go. It's not them.
How do they turn things around at this point? That is the question. They just got 2,900. They'll be back to max next round.
Indeed.
The conclusion of this one. But North looking very comfortable. See, I think Henry's right. Can't take too much away in terms of North on the next one, except I think that, you know, with the different format, the best of 3s instead of the round robin best of 1s, I think you're seeing more of teams, and I think that's great for other teams to study their potential opponents as well. So people in that coach or analyst position will get plenty more data. So people will be raising eyebrows at the Cash performance, for example, assuming North, I mean, maybe North have a different auto ban.
Yeah.
So
it's also a testament as to why it's so awesome for teams like Astralis who qualified in week 1, for example. They don't give up this information. They don't give up this data, essentially, as they don't have to play any more online games before the finals. So that's great work by them. As MBK starts to light them up at the CZ. Decent damage done as he gets the first kill. Finds the in-game leader in the form of Cadian, but answered back by Valda. They've confirmed they're up against Pistols once again as they hunt for their 6th round. AZ once more on top of the logs. Spots one, decides to fall back. There's only one player on that side of the map, and that's going to be Alex, who holds there with a deagle. Zywo to try and find the 1 deagle, and he's certainly capable of doing it. A little bit ambitious with the range. No shot connects.
All very quiet now as North can just wait a little bit, see if Vitality will do something a little bit aggressive. But are they going to go balcony? That can be sometimes quite troublesome because, I mean, Zywo's position, for example, there's no one to trade him from a different spot, but there's only one player that can come from Porch, and RPK will have that 1v1 covered. There's a smoke there now too, so Zywo, there is a flash for him. It does get him completely blind, and that's exactly what they needed there. RPK is kind of a PT50 god, but can't do much from that position. Looks like he'll sandwich in by AZ, but maybe not. Apex saves RPK, and now they've got an AK for their troubles.
doesn't last very long.
No,
But we are waiting for the next round. Ultimately, two frags is, you can be happy with that. Alex looking for more and a gun. He is 007 now.
Yeah,
get your dive watches out.
A bit of a role reversal here in terms of the scoreline and individual scores, especially. RPK 1 and 6. Cadian brings out the AWP on the T side just to mix things up, and I don't mind that at all. They're doing well. Defaults have been strong. They've got control in terms of the execution play and basing map control as well, but Detect and the Vitality will have a strong buy here for the first time. Let's maybe change things up and challenge their change of pace potentially that's coming through as Cadian waits patiently towards the bottom of Banana for anyone to challenge with that smoke. It's actually Zywo with the AWP holding middle. He'll have a bit of an off angle here towards the quad side. Just to boil up, that's his teammate Apex there to defend him. Flashbang getting ready to be deployed.
Yeah, so he's been mixing his positions up every round. He was A, he was B, now he's A again. Gonna keep them guessing. MBK doesn't quite connect very well with his spray. Good aggression though, the Flash did a decent enough job, but Gate defends also against Apex. Now Zywoo once again alone on this A bomb site. 5 players for North that could start to group towards one of the 2 bomb sites. Assistance will be had in the form of Alex as he moves in from CT to A. But indeed, North gathering up for a B attack. That leaves RPK with the M4, the silenced M4 alone. He will smoke them off to delay for a time, but Valde will be keeping or slowing rotation away from that B bomb site by himself. And that's the round. North have done it. Vitality, they played some good aggressions, but they just couldn't hit the shots, and that's that.
North are very prepared for that approach towards middle as well. They were anticipating the flashbang. They were tucked away in corners waiting for it. As soon as the flash appeared, 2 of them face it. And at that point, 2 kills came in as well. Gade working the boiler up. Great job from him to find the 2nd kill. At stage, it's North. They head towards the B bomb site. RPK trying to play an unpredictable position towards the well area. Gets nothing done with it. He'll get flashed and smoked off, taken down, and it's up to Alex and Zywoo to save the AWP and the M4A4. It's going to be 7-1 as North look very strong indeed on their map pick. T-side couldn't get much better than this, to be honest. Only giving 1 round away as they pick up yet another. Loss bonus still going to be there for Vitality, however. CTs will hold on to everything they wanted to leave with at least. 1 incendiary and HE and a flashbang for Alex, and with 2 weapons there, I feel like they should buy up into this. They kind of desperately need the rounds now. Zywoo's orbs enough to get them through it. He can drop 1 weapon. Same story for Alex. So they'll do what they can here. Still on the M4A4s. MBK will go MP7. So you can see that kind of AUG price difference being a bit of an issue here. Just needing to get that extra bits of utility, whether it's just that extra flash, they're going to have to get the M4 instead of the AUG right now.
That's why I think it's nice where it is in terms of price, because if you have success and you're afforded a stronger weapon, if you're struggling, then you have to go for the norm. Long-term norm, if you will. Right then. Flashes by the sandbags, force the CTs away from all the angles. And North will focus on the A bomb site. Alex probably didn't mean to do that.
No.
He'll have to use his Molotov towards mid instead.
Yeah, he's 0 and 7, and that smoke just happened as well. It's like he really gets in your head when those sort of mistakes start happening.
Still at this point, round number 9, 3 players have a combined 2 frags on Vitality.
Ouch.
So North really sticking it to them. NBK, laboured frag from him. He's still got bullets for a 2nd kill. Solid smoke in the apartment. Very good in UKCS as well. Every pistol round is rush apartments. Drop a smoke in there. 5 versus 2. RPK sensed something. Cadian last man now. Quest to do as much damage as possible. AWP, it seems, will be taken away. Don't want it to get into the hands of the opponent, it seems, but with the money they have, there may be more impact in doing damage to the opponent at this point. They've got 2 players on $10,000 North, so I think that there is an argument to try and take Vitality players out rather than hold on to the AWP. You may get an opportunity if he hears that player, but he's going to get knifed. There we go.
The knife comes in.
Even more money.
Lots of cash. Got to stash it. Vitality needed at this stage. Finally, they get around going in their favour. You're right. Wasn't the prettiest kills from MBK, but the fact he gets 2 is very beneficial indeed. Zywoo straight through the smoke in the apartment, of course. You'd love to see that as a double AWP setup comes out on Inferno. I love this on the CT side. I think it can be very powerful indeed. And considering the scoreline, maybe it's a good experiment, as we saw Apex with success on Cash. He'll be given the task of using the secondary AWP as the smoke goes down towards T-Steps. A different way of throwing it. A lot of teams will just run up and straight up throw it down there. He's throwing it from a set position, maybe more consistency there. So he goes in the same position every single time.
very scary. He actually pushes forwards here. Oh, he's got a flashbang to go with as well, but didn't expect MBK behind the woods. MBK is doing excellent damage here. Can't escape the mixture of flames and bullets that's hailing in at the top of Banana, but that's okay. They got a 1 for 2, which is excellent. And there's 2 AWPs remaining here on Vitality. That's very strong. A set piece would be a great way to begin to deal with that. However, Vitality, they're really out of position here. So this is a little bit scary. They're so far away on the rotation. They should start rotating now, hopefully. There's 40 seconds left. They see nothing top mid. They need to rotate. Yeah. We start to get a rotation coming in, but it's far too late, perhaps. And do they save here? I don't know. This is very difficult. They do have retake utility.
That's the bomb carrier as well. That would have been quite something. Maybe spurred them on. Seem like they fancy it. They've done a lot of damage. 3 on 3. There's a HE for ZywOo. He could bounce it towards Coffins. He's going to walk out for the peak, get shot in the head. And will that be it? Cadian, that's where the main strength of the AWP is on the T side. It's post-plant. It's a serious problem, especially on the B bomb site. And 8-2, North are back to their winning ways once again. No consecutive round for Vitality. One player's disconnected, so we might see a tech pause here for a time.
Yeah, those T-side AWPs, very good at the start and at the end of rounds. It's the mid stages they seem to drop off and all the smokes are being exchanged and the clock's being run down. There's little to no opportunity to really open things up. There's not many CTs going to be facing you and holding angles that you're going to be picking. But if you do get the bomb down, the AWP's up, in scenarios like that, absolutely epic. Yeah, you can see how powerful it can be. Nice to see Cadian hitting shots after looking so quiet on Cash. He has been a little bit streaky as of late, but he has certainly had some great moments as well. That was one of them. As you're right, James, looks like we have got one player dropping out. So he's back. No need for a pause. We'll continue play as it goes 8-2. North still running away with this one. A lot of a cash left over for Vitality. Still that loss bonus ringing true. Flashbang. Was this the same smoke? It looks like towards CT. As MBK is ready to fight once again. This time more successful. He gets the first 2 headshots. He needs to get the hell out of there now. That should be job done, surely. Be happy with that. Get out, take the advantage. More damage done. 5 versus 3. AZ walking on just 18 points of health. So, finally some success. Vitality should be able to take this round. At this point, it's just a matter of holding them at bay.
So, it's also... There is an opportunity because the players on B, I think B obviously is going to be the best choice. They're already there. The B players have expended the most utility on the defense. So, the counter nades won't be too severe. That's the last smoke for B. Thrown. Now, there is always a world where they could try to go through it, but it's probably better to leave that smoke up, let it dissipate naturally, then just go into the bomb site, see if you can trade out. There is a chance that they get clean trades, but that's what we're talking, and that's very difficult, especially against players of this caliber. Flashbang comes in Apex with the follow-up, leaving Cadian in for the clutch, and that's not happening, is it? 3-8 now for Vitality as they start to pick up some rounds, and they do it with that aggression on Banana.
Well, there we go. MBK this time ready to party with the AUG. So you can see them after having a little bit of success, managing to bring out the bigger weapons and looking much stronger. It's more classic CS in terms of being able to hold angles. With the AUG, it enables you to do that and challenges AK to feel a little bit more confident with the scope there. So very applicable in that instance, and it has great success. Can they keep it up, though? 8-3 as Vitality claw their way back into it. Grenades starting to be available now, and another aggressive approach, this time challenging right down toward the steps of the flashbang. Cadian hits the shot once again, and it's a 5 versus 4 as Apex will have to try and get that rifle back, but he's been taken to 11 HP. ZywOo will have to do most of the heavy lifting now.
Will they go back for a peek? Yes, well, no, but trying to collect a weapon, he collected lead, the wrong kind. 3 players remain for Vitality. Just waiting, as are North, maybe expecting a play from Vitality to try and get some kind of advantage against the greater numbers of North. Information, position, nothing doing. So we're not deterred by the flashbang. In fact, he's going to take a more aggressive angle. That's the headshot position on the logs. So this is the kind of information that North are waiting for Vitality to look for. but has it come in time for the French?
We will see. 35 seconds, still a chance here for Vitality. Even in a 5-on-3. Smokes toward Library and RPK, trying to funnel them towards the quad side, but they have managed to make their way around Arch. This smoke could be everything, though. The time's so low, it gives him enough of a platform to cause some damage here. And ZywOo, very brave move. That means B will be open at this stage. All 3 CTs there. He goes down first as 10 seconds comes through. Still a chance with 2 CTs here. And it all begins with this exchange. Alex finding all the frags required, and they've actually managed to turn it around. It was a chance, and they've realized it. That is absolutely fantastic from Vitality.
There was one really key thing, one small detail. When ZywOo rotated, he pulled out a smoke grenade, and he considered smoking Banana once he saw no one was there, but he decided not to, because that would tell North that they know no one is on Banana, and North might speed up towards A before he can rotate and get there, or maybe even go towards B. So he chose not to do that and leave it completely open, so North didn't have the information that Vitality had. So we spoke about the information plays. The timing worked out for ZywOo, smart enough not to deploy the smoke grenades, because that tells North what Vitality are doing. And here they are with another round.
Again, the same challenge. There's so many fights in that area. The heat map of that position must be incredible. But there we go, another early exchange. The grenade might find AZ. Not quite. Damage to 3 though, as all 5 players for North are on the other side. Alex and Apex going at it. Again, the same angle being challenged, and Alex needs to fall back at this point. Drops a pretty lackluster smoke and fumbles the play, and that should be the round. The other 2 CTs so far away. 3 AKs and 2 pistols, it's enough. Vitality not even really playing the utility game there. Just looking for straight up duels with the rifles, and that's such a risky game to play.
It's unlucky for Alex. He turned away from the flashbang, but the flash went so far he went into the flash. Ate it completely. Had no idea where he was, and then got wrecked. So it's been a struggle for Vitality on the CT half, but again, North making quite the statement, and I think they needed to for themselves as well as Vitality after the first map. So far, so good.
Yeah, so difficult to keep that momentum. It reminds me, it's actually kind of reminiscent, honestly, of the first map where North started to realize that they had to win middle, but they just couldn't find ways to do it, even though they were really trying desperately to do it. And now it's like the reverse of Vitality knowing they have to win Banana, and North are just somehow so consistently strong there.
I feel like just bringing the AWP of ZywOo over there for a few rounds just to show presence would be enough. MBK's challenging with the rifle every single round, which is fine. It worked once, right? But he's doing it every round, and more often than not, he's just getting traded out or taken down with no kills at all. He brings ZywOo over, a couple of HGs there, gets the first pick, and then you start forcing them to use more utility and be a little bit more cautious on that side of the map. I think that would be enough, because it seems to be a real issue right now. North look way too comfortable on that side. So we'll see if that comes through. I'd like to see ZywOo kind of feel like I need to step up on that side of the map. But this is when North, and they've seen the timeout, they know an adaptation's coming from Vitality. If you know you've got pressure on this side of the map, you just go for a fast middle at this stage and just go up quad and try and avoid the reaction from the CTs at this stage. So a lot of mind games coming through, and a double AWP setup for Vitality. They've called the timeout, indicative that they are changing their setup. So what will North do?
What will they do?
Well, ZywOo is going to go towards B, I think. Maybe just a straight up challenge here, or the Fallen boost would be quite cool in the corner.
Spawn, so
you can just smoke it yourself and avoid the Molotov. With HG and not go for the straight up pick. Holding the same angle, but this time with the AWP, but smoked off. Takes away a lot of vision. That's a tight angle to hit.
not going for this time though. North anticipating some adaptation from Vitality, and well, there is another one. Alex holding that angle towards mid. This is kind of cool actually, because I think North expected 3 players on Banana at the beginning of the round, and that they could have a fast timing up A, and you know what, it's going to work out anyway. Fast pace, Alex has to deliver here. AWP in hand, showing quite how adept he is with a multitude of weaponry, and it's not looking too bad for Vitality. Alex has done so much work just slowing him down. It looked like that fast pace was fantastic from North. I really liked that from them. It was a great response into the anticipation that Vitality would do something more active on Banana. They didn't, but still, it was a strong round. But Vitality still stand tall. That's a fantastic round to win. 5 now, and that's something to work with.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So nice read from North. Just unfortunate for them. At the end of the day, Counter-Strike just comes down, as I mentioned before, to hitting your shots, making the kills. You can run the best strategy in the world, doesn't necessarily mean you're going to win the round, you know. So nice idea. didn't quite hit the shots required. As we get into the last round here, Vitality, they get the 9-6. They're still well within this, and a 2-0 is still possible, as they have a massive advantage here. But North have won a lot more with far less before. 3 AKs, 2 pistols, and basic utility. 5 players at T-steps right now, just waiting for the exchange of grenades or the bombardment from the CTs perhaps to cease. 2 players there for now. That's going to be ZywOo and Apex. ZywOo with the AWP, of course, holding a similar angle. They do not want to play the crossfires on the bomb site and receive a play. They are willing to challenge, and this time the AWP's there, spots one, nails it. That's AZ going down. Same spot he's been picking from time and time again. And they just leaving B open now. I was about to say, that's a little bit much. Everyone just rotates and leaves B open, but they think about it, realize they've got an advantage. Maybe just keep B on lockdown.
As you said, though, it comes down to hitting the shots. Utility will deny a forward push. But North are chomping at the bits to get into that B-bomb side, and they're going to go through the smoke. It's a brave move. Counter flashes will come in. Apex goes to pull, and he gets annihilated. So this is a bit scary now. ZywOo has to fall back. He doesn't really have the support. It gets smoked off as well. However, the T's are constricted to the bomb side itself, and the flank is about to come in as well.
Noble effort from Apex. There was a team flash for ZywOo as well, which did delay somewhat the players moving towards the site, but here they are, 3 versus 3. NBK just about taking Kiabi out. Oh, the boost has failed, and that's a lot of information for the player in the smoke. He's got to go through it, and they're going to go to the other side. 1 versus 3. Gade, how many kills does he have in him? ZywOo looking towards CT. They're on the bomb. He's got a great angle for this. ZywOo's holding the angle. Gade shoots too fast. They've got a kit, so he kind of has to. Does he go for this wide swing? He does. He gets one. Oh, he's just run out of bullets. On the bomb once again. ZywOo's taking the angle as well. That is the... Oh,
no! What a roller coaster of a round. He did enough. He did kill the diffuser. It looked like there was 0 seconds remaining. And North will find double digits at halftime. It's 10-5. Third map of Nuke is looking likely. Will we get there, though? You have to find out after this break.
We were over. I thought we were done. You took my heart and made it colder. I took my soul and tried to run, but I have nowhere to hide. And you'll find me every time. Your pretty little lies are a game. I swear I always fall for the same. Yeah, your wild affection, sweet deception, taking over me. You know you'll find a way to get me back every time. With your pretty little lies, I thought I knew better. I'd learned my lesson this time. But when you promised me forever, I should have known it was a lie. But you always know what to say, and I always end up this way. Your pretty little lies are a game. I swear I always fall for the
Things were certainly going south, but North have bounced back here, Dan. It's 10-5 in their favor as they look to take us to the third map of Nuke. Vitality now on the T side, and I feel like the last round, that was significant. 9-6, it feels just like it's recoverable. You feel like you can do this. 10-5, a little bit more daunting switching over to the T side. If they pick the pistol up, they're certainly capable of winning the game. They have 2 smokes, 2 HEs, suggest to me a banana rush with the HEs used at the very start of the round, but maybe that's what they want us to think. They're already sending 2 players there. The HEs are deployed. Everyone knows the HEs at the start suggest a rush. They're trying to pull rotations over. They might have got more than they bargained for, though. I haven't seen this in some time. CT's pushed up and getting 3 kills. AZ lights them up there, finds the bomb, and that is round over. What a fantastic play that is.
Well, Valde gets gooshed. RPK, he's giving it a go. You know he's a beast with the pistols, but yeah, AZ may have just shut this one right down. Boom, there it is. 4K. Made it look really easy. And North off to a great start. However, there is a world where we see a force buy.
Look at it go.
That eats them alive.
So sick. And it's almost Vitality being too clever for their own good. Like I said, those 2 HEs at the start of a pistol round, it just heavily suggests you're going towards B. You're trying to shut down aggression there, do damage, soften them up before you make your commitment, and then they were planning on sending through the apartments after the rotations are pulled. They got the attention they wanted, but AZ pushing the CT apartments all the way through towards D spawn. They just didn't see it coming. I've not seen that before.
Yeah, I haven't either.
So that's pretty wild. It worked out for AZ in such a convincing manner.
What?
And the Glocks
That's 4 headshots.
somehow taking AZ down to 15 HP. Yeah, you take that, bro. I'll just sit back with the FAMAS.
But was that just Zywoo hitting him 4 times in the head, or was that 2 players?
It's the kind of things I would do.
That's
you
kind of
know,
mental.
so I wouldn't be surprised.
That's mental. Okay, well, Valde will shut things down towards top mid pretty handily. Kirby's down to 4 HP now as well. This B-bomb site's kind of a bit flimsy, but it's okay. Just MBK left. If he could get 1 or 2 kills out of this, these players are so weak before the flank comes in. That would be amazing. I don't know really if there's an opportunity though. Kirby with the peek takes him down. So they avoid any deaths, which is very nice. Vitality with the full buy coming in now. They will be able to get close to full utility or full enough.
Well,
and
everything but the Molotovs.
Yeah.
Is pretty much, which is actually pretty significant on Inferno.
It means that they'll have to play like a slower rounds. Hope that North expends a lot of their utility first. I mean, if I were North though, I always like playing passively in these rounds.
5 players going B, by the way.
Whoa, okay.
5.
What are they up to?
There's some experimental strategies going on the north side today.
I like it.
Very interesting.
Nobody rushes A.
Oh, is that because they want to fake that the HEs are all gone? But in fact, there's still like 1 or 2 left or something.
That's a good point. That could be exactly what it is. And they're getting utility kills and damage. So yes, you could suggest that, yeah, we've used 3 HEs here. We don't have any more. You're safe to go towards logs, boys. But no, there will be plenty more where that came from as North. Actually, stunned me. That's a really cool strategy. It's a nice approach. James is right. No one's rushing A, so why not get stuck in a critical round? MBK almost got 2 kills there. Might have had a chance of winning at that stage, but Alex left in a 3 versus 1. And when you've got such a huge buffer like this, you know you're in one of those sort of bonus rounds where you've got residual lesser rifles and SMGs. Why not drop something like that? 5 towards B, 3 HEs, follow it up with the utility of the Molotovs or the incendiaries. And at that point, you have full control and a couple of kills potentially. So it all worked out.
I think it's better to do right at the start too, than later on where maybe there's some tendencies and that the opponents can read and they'll be like, oh, you know, we'll just rush A because they've been playing so heavy banana all the time. That's really cool. Still a chance. Alex, oh dear. So he's dead. And never mind.
Yeah,
it's hard to check the whole site. I mean, you could argue, oh, you know, he could have spent the time to do it, but sometimes in that position, you're just hoping to take a gamble and high risk, high reward type of situation. So that is such a cool round because that's 13 rounds for North, and now all of a sudden, you know, Vitality not in a full buy situation. North are going to be up against 1 to 2 more full gun rounds. That's all they have to do is defeat those, and that'll be it. But we get a force buy.
Kind of needs rounds at this point, I suppose.
Yeah, they're not spending everything though. Not all of them, at least. Only 2 players. That's a weird way to spend the money.
Yeah, it's like they're not fully invested in the program. We'll see how it works out for them. So late smoke from Caden. They'll be well beyond it, but it won't go beyond his crosshairs. Not yet. 3 from 25 bullets, can't complain. Molotov there for the area control. He's done his job, he's bought time. There's a pretty much a full rotation, and everything will be cleaned up. He'll even get the 4th kill, KD, 14-5. The 4th spy has failed.
It absolutely has. Doesn't leave them with much, but you can see the loss bonus coming through at 3,400. That's why they potentially didn't spend everything there. They wanted to give themselves a fighting chance of winning the round and still have enough. If it went wrong, they can get AKs out here and Galils as they get 14-5. It's looking pretty desperate now. Nuke almost a certainty. The way North are playing and the theory they've brought to the table as well. It looks like they're very confident on Inferno. We said it was a bit of a Danish affair, and certainly proven to be the case. UMP for Alex, Galil for MBK, RPK with no utility whatsoever, and 4 and 15. He has not shone bright on Inferno.
Flash up top, burst through the smoke, and Vitality will be eaten by the lawnmower of North. Alex with a flash play into the pit with a UMP. Doesn't really have the range, but doesn't really have many options either. Zaiwu 1 versus 4, as he's killed 1 player. Almost at 5. Forced backwards, smoking himself off. Will there be another peek from the balcony? There will be. We're asking a lot, and we won't get a lot. Not this occasion. We look good for a 3rd map, Henry.
We definitely do. This has got new written all over it. I think we'll be seeing that for sure. Vitality now need 10 rounds in a row just for overtime. I don't think it's happening. But Nuke, I'm a big fan of seeing how that map develops. The more we see it played, the more kind of tricks we're seeing and different approaches, executions towards upper especially becoming a little bit more fashionable. As we see potentially the last round come through. UMPs, 1 AK, a P250. At this point, it's just a matter of when, not if, North can close it out.
So far, so good. 4 versus 2. Inferno almost as brief as Cash.
Yeah.
It's looking like.
But this is fine. The fact you win your own map pick convincingly, it sets up the 3rd quite nicely.
Yeah,
That should be a middle playing ground, right?
I think this is a great response from North. This is actually promising. Whereas you see the first map like, oh my god, this might be a blowout. This is a lot better because now who knows what happens in a 3rd map. Very good stuff. 5 HP for NBK versus 264 HP. I feel like his number is all too small. Headshot from Valde, and that's a wrap. 16-5 for North.
Bit about his misery there with 1 clean bullet. It's going to be a resounding victory for the Danes. They certainly take us to a 3rd. They looked so much more confident. A different team almost on Inferno. This goes to show you that, yes, they feel like they can play Cash, but they're not as well versed as they are in this particular tactical affair of Inferno. Great jobs, some good innovations as well from the North boys. Really enjoyed their 5-man approach towards B, their CT push on pistol. There was a lot of interesting ideas being presented, and that's what online play can all be about, really. Some experimental stuff coming through. We get to see their mindset and what they've been working on behind the scenes. Very good stuff. Vitality certainly had a chance getting into that game. It was a complete blowout. They got the 6 rounds in the first half, and actually it was 5. It could have been 6. That was the amazing push from AZ. That was, for me, one of the absolute plays of the game, as we'll see him close things out pretty effectively. Cadian also came to life as well. He was non-existent with the AWP on Cash. He finally posted some good numbers, and Kiabi as well. So good to see those big numbers at the very top. Kiabi with 19. He's got 8 deaths as well, so great stats there. AZ back on his feet as well. You can see it's a great team effort from the North boys. Suggests that everything went perfectly well for them in a 16-5 victory. And we'll see MBK at the very top. So MBK looks strong today. He's been successful over both maps, but they're going to need a lot more that came from to carry them through Nuke. Now the mindset, it keeps swinging between good and bad for both teams. Going into Nuke, I feel like North will have the upper hand just because they just had the massive victory. But like I said, the 3rd map should be the decider. Both teams play it. Do you still feel like Vitality are your team here? Both of you predicted them to win.
It's wide open now, Henry.
It is.
We've
It's
seen
very
2
exciting.
dominant maps from either side, so I don't know where this one's going to go.
Well, we have one special moment for you. The X Factor play of the game brought to you by HyperX. It's got to be that easy play, surely. Let's have a look as we get into it. Oh, it is the AZ play. It's here it comes. So this one, he gets in towards the CT apartments. I absolutely love this. I haven't seen this sort of interaction
listen to that.
on a pistol round before. The fact that they baited it, they suggested they were rushing B. The bait was successful, and then he pushes towards the T apartments and gets those sort of headshots. That's pretty disgusting, James.
Yeah, he put them straight in the toaster. They're correct.
Pop-Tarts are ready, it seems. Either way, we're going to take a break, and we're back with Nuke, which should be absolutely spectacular, so make sure you come back for that.